y'all, I'm Erin and welcome to my channel. I'm so grateful that you guys are here today. I am so excited because it is officially October. I'm not gonna lie, it's still 90 degrees where I live, but this weekend is looking amazing. The high is 70, so I am here for autumn. I've started to decorate for autumn. Percy, my cat, she's ready for autumn too. So, with that being said, it is my favorite time of the year to read. It is definitely cozy season, and I have picked out 13 books that I'm hoping to get done this October. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna finish all of them, but they are on my list. So go ahead, grab yourself a cozy cup of tea or coffee, and then come back and we'll get into it. By the way, look how cute my mug is. Hey, pumpkin. This is so good. I just got this new brand of tea. I actually got 2 jars of them and it is so delicious. I am drinking, hold on, let me show you guys this. I am drinking Magic Hour's Pumpkin Spice Fireside Chai. First of all, let's talk about the packaging. It's beautiful. This jug is as big as my head. I mean, I'm obsessed. It's so pretty. I also got a pumpkin, I don't know if it's pumpkin spice chocolate truffle, something like that. I'm gonna have to try that one next time. All right, let's dive in. Okay, my first few books are a little bit witchy, and this first one is a witchy romance. I'm not usually one for romances, but this one has been described as practical magic meets Gilmore Girls, and I love the Gilmore Girls. I'm obsessed with the Gilmore Girls, so I had to buy this book when I saw it at my bookstore. It's called The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. And in this story, a woman named Sadie, who has magical abilities, she thinks that she's cursed in the love department and ends up moving back to her hometown because her grandmother's sick. And once she gets there, it's all the family secrets. An old love interest comes back into the picture. So pretty much reads like a Hallmark movie, but with witchy vibes. So I am here for it. And look how pretty that cover is. Look at that teacup. How cute. All right, next up we have The Glass Witch. I actually just got a notification that this is ready for me at my local library, so I'm gonna go by and pick it up tomorrow. But first of all, it has the cutest cover. It's a middle grade fiction book. And so it should be a pretty quick read, so I'm hoping to do it maybe this weekend. It's about a girl named Adelaide, and she comes from a witchy family, and she's apparently known as like the worst witch in the coven, or worst witch in her family. And she ends up getting sent away, and she's ticked off at her mom and tries to curse her or something of that nature. All I know is it goes wrong and she has to figure it out. So it sounds like a really fun, quick, spooky little novel that I can knock out in a day, maybe even in a few hours. All right, next up on our list, number 3, is the book Weyward by Amelia Hart. And fun fact, I think this one is on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, it's like reading it for free, right? I actually do have this one on my Kindle and I'm looking forward to it. It's a historical fiction witchy book and jumps around in time, which those are some of my favorite types of books. And in this story in modern day, there is a woman named Kate, and she has escaped an abusive relationship and has escaped to a cottage that her great aunt left for her. And once she gets to the cottage, she starts uncovering all sorts of family secrets. And I'm assuming that the other 2 plot lines are possibly her ancestors. I don't know that, but I do know that it goes back and forth between modern day, the Salem witch trials, and also an ancestor who is living in the 1940s during World War II. So, sounds really interesting. I love books that go back in time, and I also love anything about Salem, so this one is definitely on my list. All right, number 4, the Physick book of Deliverance, Dane. This is another historical fiction witchy book, and it's actually been on my bookshelf for 2 years, so it's really about time that I get to it. This book also jumps around in time, which I love, and in this story, it's about a woman named Connie, and she is a grad student at Harvard working on her dissertation. During the summer, when she's supposed to be working on her dissertation, her mom asks her to move to Salem into her grandmother's abandoned home to get it ready to sell and to put on the market. When she gets there, things get a little creepy. She ends up finding an antique key and a note that has the name Deliverance, Dane on it. They are actually found in a really old Bible inside the house. And so Connie ends up going down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out the history of her family, who is Deliverance Dane, and apparently Deliverance Dane has a lost Physick book that has some secret knowledge. So Connie is on hunt, trying to find out more about her past and her ancestors. Okay. Number 5 on my list. I am so excited about this book. First of all, you're going to see the artwork and you will also be obsessed. I picked it up this morning and I've already read about 20 pages, and it's a real page turner, and that is the mystery Shady Hollow by Juno Black. Look how beautiful that is. I would describe this book as Nancy Drew meets forest animal fiction. It is so cute and fun and light already. It just brings a smile to my face. Basically, all of the forest animals live in harmony in their forest town of Shady Hollow, and a grouchy frog named Otto comes up murdered. And there's a fox who works at the local newspaper named Vera, and Vera Vixen, I believe is her name, and she wants to know who did it. So it's just a really fun read. And whenever I think of forest animals, I think of autumn. I think of fall. I'm pretty sure I will probably finish this in, I don't know, 2 or 3 days. I'm definitely going to read it as soon as I finish shooting this video. All right, guys, book number 6 is one I'm really, really excited about. If you missed my last video, I shared that I am in an herbalism program. So I love all things plants and flowers, and when I saw this book on my bookshelf at my local library, I had to get it because the cover is beautiful and it just screamed, read me in autumn. And that is A Botanist's Guide to Parties and Poisons. And this story takes place in the 1920s and follows a woman named Saffron Everly as she is a research assistant at a university in London. She ends up going to this fancy dinner, and one of the professor's wives drops dead of poison, and I'm assuming she's dead. She's definitely sick or dead from poison. And the main suspect is her mentor at her university. So Saffron ends up teaming up with another research assistant to clear his name. And I think there might be like a little bit of a love interest in there as well. So I'm excited to dive into this one. Right, number 7 on my list is a mystery. And this is not a new series. I've seen so many people talk about it on YouTube and Instagram, and I haven't read it yet, and I need to. I really need to. And that is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And this story is about a high schooler named Avery, and she ends up getting left this billionaire's fortune, but she doesn't even know him, which is kind of wild. So one of the conditions for her to receive her inheritance is that she has to go and live on his estate. The problem is his entire family, who was disowned in the will, they are all living at the estate too. So it sounds like trouble. One thing that attracted me to this book was that apparently the house, the estate, has all sorts of like riddles and codes and puzzles all within. So if you like riddles, I think you're kind of figuring those things out as you read. So I think that sounds really, really fun. And I really hope I get to this one this month. If not, I feel like this is going to be a good November book as well. We're on number 8. I'm losing count, but next we have another YA mystery, and this one is also pretty well known already. And from what I understand, it's being made into either a TV show or a TV movie, something like that on BBC. And I had to get it because I have to read it before it comes out on TV. And that is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And this story follows a girl named Pip, and she's in high school. And apparently in her town, years before, there was a murder of a local girl. The girl's boyfriend was charged with the murder. But Pip knew him, and she doesn't think he's capable of the murder. And so she starts diving into this closed case, and I think trouble starts to happen. It sounds a little like Serial vibe. Next up is a gothic mystery with a little bit of romance sprinkled in, so I can get behind that. And again, this is kind of like a Botanist's Guide to Parties and Poisons. When I saw this cover, I knew I had to take it home. And this book is called A Dreadful Splendor by B.R. Myers. Okay, let me go ahead and just read the back of this to you because it sounds so good. In this ghoulishly fun gothic murder mystery, brimming with romance, betrayals, and chills, a fake spiritualist is summoned to hold a seance for a bride who died on the eve of her wedding. Ooh. But as nefarious secrets are revealed, the line between hoax and haunting blur. So I'm really excited. I love a ghost story, and this sounds like it potentially has a little bit of ghostiness in it. So maybe I'll read this one a little bit closer to Halloween. The next 2 books have a little bit of dark academia vibes going on, and I am so excited about this first one. Before I even show you what it is, I'm going to read you the first paragraph. How creepy is this? Death always visited me in August. A slow and delicious month. We turned into something swift and brutal. The change, quick as a card trick. Ooh, it's giving me some vibe. This particular book I had to get when I read that it was about tarot cards. I love oracle cards, I love tarot cards, I love all divination. So when I saw that the Cloisters was about that, I had to get it. I had to get it. And this book is about a woman named Anne, and she thinks she's going to New York City to do, I don't know if it's like an internship, but she thinks she's going to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And she ends up getting transferred to a Gothic museum and garden called the Cloisters. And the researchers there are obsessed with divination and all of that fun stuff. So Anne ends up stumbling upon this 15th century tarot card deck, which supposedly might hold the key for predicting the future. And it sounds like that's when things get a little bit dangerous. So my tarot card loving heart is going to be obsessed with this book. I already know. I already know it's going to be a 4.5, 5 stars out of 5. Please don't let me down. Please don't let me down, Katie Hayes. Right. Next book, also dark academia vibes, and it's also on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, lucky you. Go and get this book, The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I actually started reading this back in 2021. I believe I started reading it in September, and my dad passed away in October, and things, if you've ever lost a loved one, you know that what especially the first few months are like, and I just forgot I was reading this book. It's honestly really good though. So it's about a girl named Alex, and Alex has had a very traumatic past, a traumatic upbringing, and she ends up getting this second chance by this benefactor of sorts, and he sends her to Yale because of some gifts that she has. And Alex ends up working with this secret society. So it's got secret society vibes, but this secret society is not a normal secret society. They're actually kind of like the government for the secret societies. They manage, or they are kind of watching over the 8 other secret societies on campus. And these societies are getting into some magical dark things, like bringing people and things back from the dead. So that's all I need to say. That's it. Get this book. It's going to be creepy. I remember about where I left off, I was pretty spooked. Book number 12 has been described as Mexican Gothic meets Rebecca. And Rebecca is one of my all-time favorite books. I read that one in high school, and I think I've read it 2 or 3 times since then. It's just so creepy, and it's so good. And this is a horror book, and it is called The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. And I think this is gonna be really creepy. So the premise is a woman named Beatrice has lost everything that she owns when the Mexican government has been overthrown. And she ends up marrying a man for money and stability. She ignores some rumors that she's heard about his first wife and moves into his beautiful, haunted estate. I mean, look at this picture. I don't know if you guys can see in the background. How creepy does that look? Ugh. Anyways, once she's there, things start getting really weird. So she ends up enlisting the help of a local priest. I mean, the priest is also a witch, so it's like a witchy priest, which I am here for. I'm not really sure if there's like a love spark between the two of them. I know she's already married, so we'll just have to see about that, but it sounds really creepy. I love a haunted house, and I think I'm gonna love a witchy priest. I've never read a book with a witchy priest, so let's do it. All right, guys, book number 13. To be honest, I've read some mixed reviews about this book on Goodreads, but I'm giving it a go because I saw the cover, I thought it looked creepy, it caught my eye. I love witchy books, so I had to get it. And that is the book, The Witch in the Well by Camilla Bruce. So this book sounds really creepy. I'm just gonna read you guys some of the inside jacket here. Every small town has its stories. Centuries ago, the beautiful young Elizabeth Clark was accused of witchcraft after several local children disappeared. Her subsequent acquittal did nothing to stop her fellow townsfolk from drowning her in the well where the missing children were last seen. When author and social media influencer Elena returns to the summer paradise of her youth to get her family's manor ready to sell, the last thing she expected was connecting with and feeling inspired to write about Elizabeth's infamous spirits. The very historical figure that her once friend, now town pariah, Kathy, has been diligently researching and writing about for years. But this story should have never been retold. What begins as a fiercely competitive sense of ownership over Elizabeth's life and powerful legend soon turns both women's world into something more haunted and dangerous than they could ever imagine. Kathy and Elena are bound by their childhood secrets, and now their futures are intertwined with the bloody reality of a legend lost to time. So I'm really curious if like weird things start happening. I don't know. I'm excited about this book though. And I mean, look, Alex Harrow just wrote Haunting and Harrowing. I couldn't look away. That's what I need in my life. All right, you guys, I know I said 13 books, but I had another book come across my path and I had to get it. And I feel like this book is gonna be special for me. A little backstory for you guys. I mentioned before that my dad passed away. He passed away 2 years ago in October. And you know how a lot of people have signs of their loved ones who have passed on, and oftentimes you'll hear like a red robin or a red bird. Well, for me, that sign is an owl, and it came to me a few months after my dad passed away. So when I saw this book, I had to get it. This book is called October, and it's by Katya Balin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Katya Balin. And I mean, look at it. First of all, the cover is beautiful. Let me see if I can get this in the light so you guys can see it better. Anyways, the girl's name is October, and it centers around, at first at least, her relationship with her father. She has a very close relationship with her father, and then also they rescue an owl. So as soon as I saw this, I don't know, I just knew I had to read it. I know not a lot about it. There's a girl named October. She lives in the forest with her father and lives kind of a wild life. And then her father gets hurt, and her estranged mother comes back into the picture, and I believe makes her leave the woods. So she's living in the city now, and this is her story. It is a whimsical fiction book. I believe this is actually a middle grades book, and I should be able to finish it pretty quickly, but it just looks beautiful and idyllic and everything that I could ever want to read in October. So I will try to do a wrap up at the end of the month of the books I read and let you guys know what I thought about them and what I rated them. All right, guys. Well, that is it for today. If you would like to see more videos from me, I would love for you to like and subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment down below about what you were reading this October. I'm sure I could probably maybe fit a few more on my list. If you would like to support me in any way, I have included a link to bookshop.org where it has a list of the books that I talked about today. Bookshop.org gives 10% of their profits back to indie bookstores, and you can even choose which bookstore you want to support. So I just think that's amazing. So, or if you just need a place to look at the list of these books and you need to write them down, go shop at your local independent bookstore, or if you want to buy on Amazon, whatever floats your boat. I am also a creator. I love making things, and I have zodiac journals galore on Amazon. I'm also working on some new fun things that I think you guys will like. Here are a few of my zodiac journals. I'm just going to kind of scroll through here, but I will leave the link down in the show notes for you. If you so choose to support me or you find something you like, it would definitely mean the world to me, and know that you are supporting a small business. So thank you guys. I am looking forward to seeing you guys next time. I'm planning on doing a little bit of a readathon, so be looking for that video coming up. Until next time, have a great day and stay enchanted. Bye.